In today's episode, if we can make a 12-valve Cummins fit in this Mustang. Who knows, maybe. Woo! Earthquake here in Kansas after I hit that ground. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Westen. How are you guys doing today? Now, you know what? I'm recording this because I kind of forgot to record an intro before, but you know what? That's all right. You guys don't care about that. But we have something amazingly exciting for you guys today. We bought another Mustang. I know, did I drink too much last night or am I seeing double? Yes, we got another one. Now, we already went and picked up this car, obviously. I'm not that good at Photoshop or whatever they call that, you know, trying to Photoshop a car into it like that guy did with that Bugatti Chiron or whatever it was. Get this thing, it was down in Dallas, Texas. We got the thing picked up. There was a couple unexpected things that happened on this trip. And you know what? I might as well just show you guys. So, Garrett, roll the footage. This here's your captain speaking. It's roughly 94 degrees here in Dallas today, and we'll be making a prompt takeoff as soon as all these cars get the hell out of our way! An old man told me one time, your relationship and a bridge have a lot in common. I'm like, what's that? And he's like, well, if you have weight limits, you're going to have a lot less traffic. Good news, everyone. We have no more traffic. Wide open air. Wide open road. This old Dodge getting ready for takeoff. 35 pounds of boost. Here we go. There it is. Look at it. It's so pretty. It's less crushed than the last one. So guys, the audio was messed up on this clip. The wind was blowing really hard and I didn't have my external microphone on it. And my cameraman was in the bathroom. Why was he in there? Well, probably because he had to go to the bathroom. But anyway, so this guy come out to load this car, and needless to say, he was not the smoothest loader I've ever seen. He ended up dropping the car and then trying to drag it back off the trailer while he still had the forks underneath it. And it was just kind of a bad situation all the way around. So I'm not really doing that good a job recording because I'm more worried about trying to get my car on the trailer without it being messed up. So I do apologize about that, but we got it loaded. We're going to get it tied down. We're going to get hit at home. So as you guys can see, now we own two beautiful red Mustangs. Well, maybe they're both kind of ugly, but we're going to take both of them and make one good, really looking one. Really good looking one. Yeah, whatever I said here. Now, I've been trying to figure out what exactly happened to this car, and I don't quite know yet, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, you might be wondering why we got this car, and the reason for that is this is our parts car for our 2017 Mustang GT that's in the garage. And the reason we got this car is it came up for sale, and I was been looking for parts for our GT for a while, and I have not been able to find anything besides just going and buying brand new parts. And then this car came up with a reasonably good deal. I couldn't really turn it down. It's the same color. It's a 4-cylinder car, so it's not a high model or anything. Got damage on it. It's high miles. It's a couple years older than the one that we got in the garage. So I really don't feel that bad about pulling parts off of it. So obviously we're going to pull the entire front clip off of this car and put it on the car in the garage. And then we still have the rest of this car that we can do something with. Maybe we'll turn it into a drag. Well, actually, you know what? I've got plans for this car. I just don't know if they're possible yet, and I don't know if you guys want to see them yet. So we're going to talk about that later on in the video, but let's just walk around this car and show it to you guys. I really don't know what exactly happened to this car. I think somebody decided Dukes of Hazzard the thing because pretty much every tire on it is flat, and this one here has got its own custom inspection port so you can see how much air is in it. That can move a whole lot more air than a valve core, I guess. I don't know. And then we get around to this side, and it really looks like somebody's Dukes of Hazzard this deal, because look at that tire. That's, you know what? Them Honda guys would pay good money for camber like that. There's some suspension parts broken underneath here. We'll have to get a jack underneath there and see exactly what's wrong with it after we figure out where we can stick a jack under it at. And the other thing that sucks about it is we bought this car for the front clip and everything, and then when that guy dropped it, he took and popped the bumper out and kind of deformed the whole front end. He dropped it pretty hard, and in the pictures it did not have this damage on the front of the bumper here, which pretty much the whole bottom fascia is gone on the front of the bumper. So I guess we'll have to come back and try to put some body filler on that and some fiberglass or whatever and try to fix that. I didn't really want to have to paint anything, but you know, stuff happens, so we got to fix that. Pretty much all we need to look at on this car. The interior is in good shape from what I looked at it. I need to open the door a little bit wider, but the fenders are in the way, so I can't really open it real wide. We'll take a little further look at this car later on. But let me take you inside and explain my master plan. Hi, I'm home! So here we are in the garage, and now we've got our 2017 Mustang GT right here. Now, this is the one that we're going to take and put all of the parts on the car outside on this one. Now, I know you guys have been missing this car, and it's back. We are going to be working on this car and getting this car finished up here pretty shortly, but we do have to have a little bit of framework done on it because obviously this front apron right here is bent along with, well, this little thing right there that you bolt the bumper to. That is bent as well. But a good friend of mine has a frame machine in town that we should be able to get this car onto next week sometime. So as soon as we get the frame straightened out on it, we will take around and get all the parts thrown on this car and get it back down the highway. Now, obviously, the last time you guys seen this, I think I pointed out that the motor mount is broken on the driver's side of this engine. I got a new motor mount from Ford, and it is sitting actually out there in the truck in the back seat. So I need to go grab that, and we'll put the motor mount on that thing sometime. It might not be in this video, it might be in the next video, I don't know. All right, now it's time for our grand scheme. Now we've established how we're going to fix this beautiful Mustang back here. We're gonna pull the front clip off of that one out there and put it on this one. But the question is, what are we going to do with what's left of the Mustang? And there's actually a couple options on what we can do. Number one, which is probably the financially smart thing to do and what any sane person would do, but everybody said I was not sane a long time ago, is we could take and just sell off what's left of it for, you know, paying for the car and paying for this project and just be done with it. Or we could swap something into it. Now the engine, sweetheart, no, not you. All the Mustang owners would hate me furiously if I put you in there. You get back over in the corner where you belong. Anyway, now as I was saying, swapping something into it. Now we could swap, you know, my beautiful 6-liter LS over here wants to be swapped into something. Sweetheart, I said get back there. Anyway, or we could find us a 12-valve Cummins and see if we can make it fit in that Mustang. Now, on the first video that we put out on this Mustang, everybody's like, put a Cummins in it. Cummins swap it. JK, LOL, Cummins, 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 Cummins. How hard could it really be? As long as I can make it fit, well, obviously we're not going to put it in that car. If I could make it fit, imagine. We wouldn't need a front clip or nothing. It'd just be a drag car. But imagine a 12-valve Cummins in an S550 Mustang. Now, I've seen 12 valves in like old Fox body Mustangs and older stuff, but I've never seen them in something this body style and this amazing. Now, it's not going to be this car. It's going to be the one outside. Just for the name of science, let's pull out the tape measure and see if a Cummins would actually... It might be like trying to get a semi going into a car wash, but, you know, it might fit too. It might knock down a couple walls on the way in, but you know what? Whoever said you need a firewall? I don't have them on my computer. Why should I? I know. You want to knock down walls. Get back in your corner. That dang LS. Huh. Let's see. So, I figured, since we got a Cummins powered F350, we might as well pull some measurements off of our 12-valve Cummins in here to see if it'll fit in here. Let's see. So let's just do some rough measurements. Let me get up here on top of this bumper first. Now, I've looked up the specs for a 12-valve Cummins, but I've seen varying results. I've seen all the way from 35 inches to 40. So let's just kind of get a good guesstimate on what we got. Now let's go back there to the back firewall. Let's just say front of the engine about 33, 34 inches to the front of the crank. So let's say 35, 36. 35, 36 would get you enough where you'd have enough clearance in between the back of the firewall and you wouldn't hit nothing on the front. Now, as far as width, this is gonna have probably 27 to the outside of the oil filter housing. Okay, 27. Well, here's an important number we need to know is how tall this engine is. Looks about like 26 and a half from the bottom of the crank. Okay. So, we got about 35 inches in length. We got about 26 inches wide. And what'd I say, like 26 inches tall from the bottom of the crank. I don't know, 4 or 5 inches on the height because we got a pan down there. And, you know, obviously we got some stuff we need to clear underneath the motor as well. I don't know if it's gonna fit or not. It would be a tight fit. I guess let's measure. Let's see what we got. Look at this. Ford was so thoughtful. They gave you a tray up here to store your tools while you was working on this motor. So obviously we got all of our parts on the front end of this car that we're gonna pull off to fix our GT. And we've still got this little 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine, which I need to get it fired up and see how it runs. But you know what? I've got a really good idea cooking around in the brain for this engine if it's a good engine. So one of the things I was actually thinking, if this EcoBoost is a good engine, now this is a 2.3 liter EcoBoost. I actually thought it had the little V6 engine in it, which wasn't that popular. But this, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, this makes 310, 315 horsepower, which out of a 2.3 liter inline 4-cylinder is a lot. Now we've got a perfect donor vehicle here. We've got engine, transmission, everything. And what I thought would be absolutely awesome is making like a long travel suspension dune buggy or off-road buggy and putting this engine and transmission to power it. 315 horsepower. We could haul a lot of behind across the dunes, I'm telling you. I think it can be done. Why not? I've got everything here to make it work, if it runs. And this is obviously just an idea if we pull this engine out and decide to go to the Cummins way, which, you know, who knows? It might not actually physically fit, so we might have to not have to worry about that. Maybe we'll just turn this into a big sandrail. We'll have the off-road Stang. All right, let's do some measuring. So let's go to the back of the firewall there. We'll just get right there. That's the furthest point forward on the firewall. Not looking real great. Now, right there's 36 inches. That's what I said we have over there. We can use electric fans on the front of that Cummins, kind of cut down where we don't have to have a fan on it. We'll have to measure on the car in there that don't have anything on it either, so we can kind of see where we're at. Now, as far as width-wise, we've got about 32 inches before we start interfering with anything. Obviously, we don't have much room on the side for turbo, but the turbo will be sitting right about here, and we can flip over that manifold and set it right up here. That way the turbo's loud and proud and ready in charge, ready to build boost and make power. You know how awesome of a swap this would be? Like to see this car with no hood, a 5.9 12 valve hanging halfway out of it, it would be a freaking monster. This would destroy tires like a tire machine. Okay, last measurement we need to do, height. Now I think, what'd I say, 27? 27 inches, something like that? 27 puts you right about there. Let's add in a little bit of room, 30, 35. The front valve cover of that engine would set right there. See, that's insane. But that's not unreasonable. Like, we could do that. And if we had to, we could take out the cowl and take out the firewall a little bit all the way back till we hit the windshield. We don't want to take out the windshield, but we might be able to do this, guys. So obviously, guys, I know there's a lot of things that we are glancing over and not really talking about with this swap. But to be truthful, I could stand here for 2 hours and talk about it and maybe not be any closer to the answers that I'm looking for and just bring up more questions. The guys that helped me with this Cummins over here and helped us out with the injectors and the turbo and that we got all that stuff from, the guys up there, Power Driven Diesel, they're building a drag car out of a 12 valve Cummins and a 71 Charger. And they brought up a really good point, and that point is that you can make massive amounts of power in the diesel world very easily and cheaply compared to the gasoline world. So I said all that to say this, and that is, if we can actually take and build this car with a 12 valve Cummins in it, this thing will be a beast of a car. I mean, a beast of a car. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you hit that like button, and I mean hit it, because that tells me if you guys are excited to see it, and it also tells YouTube that we're good guys and that more people should watch this video. Obviously, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you know what? I will see you guys next time.